A common question that I get is, Kevin, how long is it going to take to see success with social media marketing? That is the topic for today's video. I'm going to break down and show you exactly what to expect when you're marketing your real estate business on Facebook and Instagram. Take a look. Hey everyone, Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you are brand new to our channel, welcome. We're so glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and close more deals. So if that is what you're after, this is the place to be. Please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here as part of our community. Before I get going in today's video, just one quick note down in the description below. If you go down there and take a look, you will see a link to our 4 pillars training. We have found that there are 4 key elements to finding success with social media marketing. And so we put together a free video training to walk you through all 4 of those elements and how you can use that in your business. So that training is totally free. Make sure you go check it out down in the description below. It is time well spent for your business. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. The topic is, Kevin, how long is it going to take for me to see success with what I'm doing with social media? So in order to really put this in its proper frame, you've got to take social media out of the equation and understand what it looks like for the industry as a whole. You know, how long is it taking for leads to turn into closings? You know, what is the average? What does that look like? Because what you're going to find is, frankly, social media is no different than any other lead source, right? The time that it takes to generate the lead and get it to a closing is going to be similar no matter where you're going. So just to kind of put this in perspective, I attended a training recently and they shared this information. And so there were 2 screenshots that I thought were super valuable and just wanted to pass that on. So here's the first one. It's talking about, this is the cumulative conversion rate over time. The median, right? The median closing rate is 115 days. Right? Now, this is measuring all lead sources. So if I go to the next slide where it's showing what they are, you know, all these different lead sources here, you can see, yeah, some outperform a little, you know, others, but for the most part, you're still looking at this. Look at this line, the 115-day line of how long it is. You'll notice for any of the lead sources, again, it doesn't matter which one we're talking about, that, you know, in the early beginning, the first 20 to 30 days, your closing is close to 0, right? Because those people are still thinking about it. They're considering options. They're getting pre-qualified, getting the home ready to list. Whatever that situation is, it's going to take them some time. And so here's the problem, right? If the median is 115 days from the time the lead is generated to the time that it closed, you've got to realize that if you're only contacting a brand new lead once or twice or 3 times in the first week, you can see down here what your results are, which is next to nothing, right? So you have got to realize that, forget social media for a second, the average in the industry, regardless of lead source, is 115 days. And so the question you really need to be asking yourself as a real estate agent is, what is my 115-day strategy, if that's how long it's going to take? See, the problem most agents have is they simply just quit too soon. They don't want to bug people or harass them, and that's what they feel like. And so they'll follow up for a couple of times. The ones that are really diligent, usually they follow up for a week, and the ones that are borderline crazy will follow up for 2 weeks, and then usually they just kind of drop off and spend their time with the people that they feel are better opportunities, and I understand that. But if you know that the median is 115 days, the difference between you and other agents out there is, what is your strategy from day 1 to day 115? See, that is the killer question, and what you really need to be asking yourself. If day 115 is the median and that's where most people are going to see success, the question is, what are you doing all that time frame? So when we take on clients in our system and our process, there's 2 things that we really do that stand out and make this 115 days very, very simple. Number 1 is we have a lead follow-up system that we use, and it's a 120 day drip. There's a reason why we do it that long, right? But we put them on a 120-day text message drip to where we're actively trying to follow up with a lead, set appointments, get them further and further to being a transaction. The other thing that we do that is very much a differentiator is once we generate the lead on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is, we dedicate a portion of our client's advertising budget to running what we call retargeted ads, which means we're spending a portion of our advertising budget to keep our ads in front of them. Now, the purpose of those ads is different than when we're generating a lead. When we're generating a lead, we're trying to gather somebody's name and contact information. Once we've got that, we don't need to keep getting their contact information. What we need to do is we need to start building trust, building credibility, getting them to realize that you are the agent that they want to work with. So there are different strategies and different posts and different videos and things that we use that we educate our clients on as to how to keep in front of people to build that trust. See, in addition to all the follow-up that's happening outside of Facebook, there's all of the follow-up, the ads that are constantly being shown inside Facebook. So even if they're not responding to the texts and the calls and the emails, they're still going to get the follow-up in the form of them constantly seeing your ads. It creates this impression that you are the go-to agent, that you're everywhere. And so anytime they log on and they see you, it's just that one more touch point where they're like, man, John or Sally or whoever it is, they are the go-to agent. That's what makes a huge amount of difference. See, this is why our marketing system is what it is. Generating leads is certainly a big part of it. But what we're really about is building this database, basically having this huge group of contacts that we're constantly marketing to. Yes, when we generate leads, part of our intent of doing that is getting people to raise their hand and saying that they're interested at some level, right? The people that aren't interested, obviously we don't even want to talk to those people. But the ones who are raising their hand by filling out the form and giving you contact information, sure, we want to follow up with those people and possibly see if they're ready to do something. But the large part of our strategy is we're really focused on building this database of contacts so that we have a sales pipeline. See, what happens is when we keep in front of these people week in and week out, we start building this pipeline where we know there's a certain amount of people who are going to be, making a decision this month, and then some next month, and then the month after that, and then the month after that. So our focus is not about generating a lead and having it convert right away, because you've seen the numbers. It's 115 days. That really doesn't exist regardless of lead source. If your expectation is I go buy a lead from Zillow, I make one phone call, they're closing by the end of the week. Don't get me wrong, it happens, but that's the exception to the rule. That is not the norm. The same thing's going to happen on Facebook and Instagram. Some of those people will be ready to do something right away. And obviously we love those. We will take it every time we can get it. But that is also not the norm. The norm is 115 days. That is the reality of what it takes. So the answer to the question of, Kevin, how long is it going to take for me to see success and see results? Well, you'll see results in the minute we flip the switch and start generating leads, right? You'll see leads coming in. Some of those people you'll start actively working with, and that happens all the time. But if you're talking about closings and how long it's taking for people to actually do it, 115 days is the norm. That's what real estate is regardless of lead source. So I always tell people, 115 days, that's basically 4 months. I tell people you've got to realistically give yourself 6 months for anything that you're doing in marketing. So that is why 6 months is what I tell people, because it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of fuel that pipeline, right? Getting people in, generating leads, starting the follow-up process, getting them to continue to see ads. That is what makes our system and our methodology so different. So whether you decide to work with us or not, that's totally up to you. But regardless, you've got to be thinking about that 115-day period, because that is what it takes to see success with the leads that you're generating. So hopefully that video was valuable. If so, take a split second down below, click the thumbs up button. That is a signal to YouTube that you like the content that we put out. So that helps us know what to put out more of. And it also is a signal to YouTube to recommend our videos to more people. So if we've helped you, help us in return. Take a split second, click that thumbs up button. We appreciate your support. Also, down in the description below, you will find a link that has more information about our services and working with us. So if you're interested, go check that out. We're happy to set up a consultation and see if it's a good fit, and also see if your area is available. Also, please consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. We put out brand new tips and tricks like this all the time. So with that being said, click the subscribe button. There's a bell notification right next to it. You'll be notified every time we put out a brand new video. That is it. Make it a great week. Keep crushing it in your real estate business. As always, if we can help, let us know. Otherwise, we will see you on the next video. Take care.